Yeah, so Asmund said that what I need to do is to just ignore these people. I know he's right. I know that it is attention-seeking behavior. And, I know I should just ignore these people. For me, I was a little bit conflicted, though, with this advice. Because, I guess, yeah, I don't want to give anybody too much personal attention. I don't want to feed them attention that they crave. But at the same time, I enjoy fighting them. I like it. I really like calling out this bullshit. Because it's very obvious. And that's the whole reason I decided to ultimately stream this game. That's the reason they're really mad at me. I have seen a lot of disappointing shit in the past couple days. Honestly. Seen a lot of people get harassed that were nice to me. I think to me, the most wild thing is that I personally did not think that it was a controversial thing to say that it's not okay to bully people for buying and playing a game. It's not okay to call someone hateful for playing this game. This is the hill I chose to die on. Like, yeah, do I love patting the wallet of JK Rowling? No. But she won't notice it. She really won't. But the people that I have pissed off from streaming this game, and the fact that, like, they did exactly what I expected that they would do. I knew that this is exactly what would happen. They followed the playbook. They're so predictable. I knew they would come after me just like they did everybody else. I knew they'd start calling me names and just spreading lies and saying shit that everybody knows isn't true. And I knew that as soon as they did it, everybody in the whole world would know that they're full of shit. Because they know that I'm not those things. Is she playing the game because of hate content? Or just playing the game because she wants to? Let me tell you what my thought process was and how I went through this, right? I did not intend to play this game. I was kind of like not really paying a lot of attention to it. I was like, I don't really like JK that much, you know, fuck her. I don't really care. I was kind of like meh about it. But then I saw the harassment going on of my friends. I saw friends of mine being called bigots. I saw friends of mine being treated like garbage. And I realized that you've given me a choice, haven't you? You've given me two choices. I can not play, not stream it, which is what you want me to do. I can obey. I can do that. Even maybe I have my own reasons, maybe. I could do that. Or I could stream it. And I could count on you coming after me. So that anybody with a shred of common sense can see that you're full of shit. They will put it all for the whole world to see that this was never about trans rights. It was never about inclusivity. It was never about kindness. It was always about coercion. It was always about control. It is so fucking obvious to me. You're just bullies. And it meant more to me to spend the $60 to show these people I'm not afraid of them. Even if $1 goes to JK, who doesn't give a shit about it? Well worth the $60. And you know what? The game is actually great. I should really be thanking these people for giving me, like, you actually gave me, like, a moral imperative to play the game that I was kind of middling about before. I thank you because the game is great. I'm having a great time. So you've chosen to stand in solidarity with others who want to play the game by playing the game. Others, well, it's more than that. It's really this, the point is, what it really comes down to is that it is harmful right now to people we know in our communities, in our online spaces, it is harmful to call people hateful, to call them an enemy, to say that they're evil, to say that they're unsafe because they've playing a video game. This is wrong. It's really dangerous, and it's really fucked up, and it is wrong. It is so in your face, and it is so manipulative, and it is so disgusting that I have to point it out. If the choice that I've been given is obey or be harassed into coercion, either obey and do exactly what we say, or if you don't, then the alternative is you'll be harassed into coercion. I would not want to obey someone. I would not want to do that thing. You see what I mean? That's what it's about. I think it's harmful to trans people. I think it's harmful to the trans rights movement. I think it's harmful to everybody else too. You're telling people they can't think for themselves. They can't use common sense, their own good judgment to see this is someone that I know, this is someone that I like, this is someone that I know is not hateful at all. But this group of people is telling me, they're literally gaslighting me. They're telling me all this stuff that I know isn't true. This is a much bigger threat. I wouldn't do something that I thought was unethical and indefensible out of spite, or even to prove a point, or even to get people to come at me. I wouldn't do that. Because I don't think two wrongs make a right. But looking at this game, I don't think that it affects J.K. Rowling in the way that these people are claiming that it does. Like the financial gain that she might receive from royalties from this one income stream is nothing. It's not going to matter to her. She's a billionaire. She has a goddamn theme park. She's got Legos. She's got merch. She's got books. She's got literally everything you can imagine. She's got Harry Potter shit on it. It just shows that all the focus is on this game because it's just very easy to harass people. It's very easy to run the harassment campaign against people that stream it publicly. It's much easier to do that than to go harass people at the store who bought some Harry Potter shit from Hot Topic.
Yes, just so.
It's just so obvious. I don't think that influence that she would gain from the game's popularity translates into people agreeing with her. In fact, I think that if you stream the game, you play the game, and you are loudly supportive of trans rights, and you are loudly disagreeing with J.K. Rowling, you are disproving the idea that influence and the success of her game equals endorsement of her viewpoints. People don't play this game and come out mind slaves of J.K. Rowling. I think that's incredibly disrespectful to say that, I have more respect for my viewers. I have more respect for people in general, that they don't just, anything they read, anything that they watch, they're just going to absorb the political views of whoever made it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You said, I fear generalization that both sides of this argument and stance are taking, though. There's one stance. The stance is easy. The stance is very simple. Bullying people is not okay. I'm not bullying anybody. Harassing people is not okay. I'm not doing that. And as I said before, and also labeling people, your enemy, labeling people hatred when hateful when you know that they're not. This is not okay. It's dangerous. I'm not doing any of that shit. If we see people doing that shit, we will ban them too. Probably the funniest thing to me, before I get into this letter that someone sent me, the funniest thing to me is the fact that they've said, we really would have preferred it if you just said you wanted to play the game and you didn't call out all the witch hunting and harassment, and you didn't make it about more than that. Yeah, if you just said you wanted to play the game and then not say any of that other stuff, that would have been a lot better for you. No shit. Of course you don't like me pointing out all this shit. Of course you don't like me telling people that they're in a cult and they need to wake up. Obviously, that would have been a lot easier. I think one of the reasons why this pissed me off so much and why this has really felt like the hill I needed to die on is because I spent like 5 or 6 years of my life in a horrible, abusive, like emotionally abusive relationship where I was completely brainwashed. I was treated like shit every day. And I just tried to please this person all the time. And they convinced me that like I didn't have any thoughts of my own. And it was just constant manipulation and abuse all the time, every day for 5 or 6 years. I've been through it. I know what it's like to like feel like you just, there's nobody else that you can be safe around, that there's nobody else that can that will even deal with you because you're such a burden and you're such a you're such a problem. Yeah, I know what it's like to be in that situation where you have somebody constantly feeding you just lies so they can control you, so they can make you second guess everything, every thought that you have, that you came up with by yourself, cannot be trusted. You can only trust what they say. You can only do what they want you to do. If you try to do something else, there will be severe punishment for it. I've been through that. I know the signs. They got the same playbook all over the world. Like, this is, once you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. Once you've seen it and you learn to recognize the signs, you know exactly what they look like. And one of the key things is isolation. They try to isolate you from your friends. They try to tell you that your friends who you know are your friends, you know they're your friends, they tell you they're your enemy. People that are there for you, people that will be there for you when it matters, you can't trust them. Can't trust anyone but the people that are approved. So, this was a letter that I received who said, "Hi Zepla, it's not my real account. Just wanted to thank you for sticking up for the trans community. I was going to post this online, but I didn't want to risk being targeted. And by the way, I cannot tell you the number of people that have wrote me messages and DMs and stuff saying, hey, I really just wanted to tell you that I support you, but I don't want to say anything out publicly because I'm scared." Shitload of people have said that, that should tell you a lot. Right there, that should tell you a lot. As someone who's both trans and Jewish, it upsets me to see that you and many other content creators have come under attack by a small but vocal minority, many of which do not even belong to the trans or Jewish communities. I want to assure you that this group does not represent the majority, even though I and many others do not support J.K. Rowling's views. And obviously, I don't either. That's the whole thing. I'm here showing you that you can play the game and not share her views. The bigotry towards you and other content creators is unacceptable and dangerous towards trans rights. It's dangerous for everybody. Sadly, this is nothing new. There's always been a divide between those who seek a positive and peaceful approach towards fair rights and those hurt or scared and have become overcome by hatred and despair. Let me tell you something. Martin Luther King said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." While understandable, their actions are unforgivable and seek to further divide and risk jeopardizing the years of progress we fought for, progress paved in blood, tears, and yes, even death. It's an insult to those who have suffered and those of us seeking reasonable rights and protections. This behavior is highly inappropriate. I cannot begin to express the pain I've been through and the isolation I've felt and continue to face because of these individuals. They say they're fighting for people like me. They are not. Their reckless behavior does nothing but further divide and isolate those like me who have suffered and just want to live their lives in peace. Go Zepla, join Hogwarts and fight this blasphemy of hatred. Play it for me and everyone else who's had to suffer for this bullshit behavior. Kindly, a fellow warrior of light. By the way, did you know there's a critically acclaimed MMORPG that lets you become a warrior of light and fight against despair? I heard there's even a free trial that includes all of Heavensward and even lets you play alone or with other people. Yeah, I have heard about that. Yep. Yeah. You have my permission to share, but please don't provide my email or name, even if they're fake. And one thing that I do want to say, because I see this every time somebody shares the viewpoint of a trans person that does not think that harassment and hate campaigns are an acceptable means to an end. They say, oh, well, you're just sharing this opinion because you think that this is going to prop up your opinion, and you're only sharing this because you think that, oh, well, look, this trans person agrees with me, so this is I don't need this letter to prop up anything. I'm giving you, like, I don't have even a controversial take. I have the rational viewpoint. So this is just, an extra perspective. It's an additional perspective from another angle, from someone who is not me. It's been nice to get messages like that, but it has also been kind of sad to see people that just have not been able to stand up to the pressure at all. Yep. Here's the thing that I don't understand, right? And by the way, I would never fault anyone for looking after their mental health. Okay, you got to put yourself first. You got to put your mental health first. Let's be real. Not everybody. I cannot expect everybody to be like, I don't know, join me on the warpath or anything like that. I don't know. For me, I find it very easy. For me, it's like if somebody comes after me and they're spreading lies about me, they're spreading bullshit, and they're treating people like garbage. For me, I find this makes it so easy for me to stand up to you, man. It makes it fun. I can't wait. I love it. It just makes me more determined. You just show me that I'm more in the right. Probably for me, one of the most disappointing things that I've seen is that there have been some people that have been very supportive to me in private. They've been very nice, and they've said, oh, thank you, you're so brave and you're so nice, and I'm just so proud of you, and I really believe that these people that are attacking you, they have a brain rot and they're insane, and it's obvious, that is obvious, and I'm like, wow, thank you. And then the next day, or like a couple days later, they'll come out and be like, well, people who play this game, they just will have to face some consequences, I guess. And people who play this game, they're not, okay, maybe they're not bigots, okay, but they're not an ally. They're not allies. I've heard people say that shit too. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. What's the opposite of an ally? What is someone who is not safe to be around? An enemy. But you don't want to say that I'm an enemy. Why? Because it sounds stupid as fuck. And if you say that I'm an enemy, everyone will be like, but I know that she's not.
Yes, just so.
I know she's not that. So they can't. So it's like this twisting of words. It's this like passive aggressive, like dancing around. I didn't say that you were an enemy, but you're not an ally. I didn't say you were unsafe, but I said you're not safe. This is exactly why I felt like it was important for me specifically to do this. I chose to put my reputation on the line because I know that anybody with a shred of common sense left knows what I'm about. And I know that at least some people who have not yet been completely fucking brainwashed will hear that and say, oh, wait. Like, maybe the cognitive dissonance will cause you to wake up a little bit and realize what you're involved with. I've seen other people be very supportive. Like, I've had so many people be supportive in private, and then they just try to get along to go along in public. They just start repeating all this bullshit out in public because they're afraid. Or, like, start backtracking. I've had people who supported me privately, and then they're like, oh, well, you know what? I thought about it, and people have explained to me why it was harmful, and now I see that I was really evil for playing a game, and I shouldn't have done that, and now I understand that it was really bad, and I'm really bad, and I'm so sorry.
Yes, just so.
Come on now. Hate mobs and harass people are wrong, but I don't think it's fair to say only the stance you've taken in this situation is the right one. Why do you not think that it is the right one? I'll explain to you why it is the right one. Let's just say that there was no hate mob, even though that really is the whole reason I'm here. Let's say there was none. Let's just look at buying the game in a vacuum, right? The argument is that if you buy the game, J.K. Rowling might get some royalty money that she will then use on really shitty causes. She might use to push her agenda and to run some campaigns on some shitty causes in Europe. Now, she can campaign on those things. Anyone can do that with any money that they get, by the way. Anytime that you give money to someone, which is all the time, they can take that money and then use it on stuff that you don't want. Do you realize this can happen anytime that your money exchanges hands with people? Okay, that's the first thing. J.K. Rowling is not God. J.K. Rowling is not the king of the world. J.K. Rowling cannot get out here and just like snap her fingers and like any law that she wants passed is going to get passed. People need to vote on these things. People need to be active and pay attention to the laws that are passing and rally the communities to support bills that are supporting trans rights and oppose bills that are opposing trans rights. If people that were on this harassment campaigns would expend even a fraction of the energy that they're spending attacking me on actually directing all that energy towards supporting bills that are pro-trans rights and opposing bills that are against trans rights, we'd probably be getting a hell of a lot further right now. It's such a waste of time. You say that's actual work, but they are doing actual work. They are going through my streams. They are looking for anything they can fucking clip that they can post on Twitter for clout. They're looking for anything I can say. That's hard work. I feel like that's harder. Fucking showing up to, but I guess to show up at a town hall meeting, you have to go outside. You gotta fucking go outside. It just makes me feel like it's not about trans rights. It's not about that. If it was about that, you wouldn't be fucking attacking me when I support you on this shit. It's about coercion. It is about control. It is about manipulation. It is about keeping your little bubble scared. It's about keeping everybody scared. It's a video game made by a huge team of people that have nothing to do with her and even went out of their way to put in incredibly inclusive messages in the game. The game is not anti-trans propaganda. It's not hateful propaganda. I would argue that it is the opposite. Boycott anyone you want. For any reason that you want. You have that right. But I don't appreciate being given a choice between either you agree and you support this boycott, which negligibly affects this shithead person, or we will run a hate campaign on you. Like, that seems worse. That seems so much worse. You said I think you do need to call out all the actual transphobes that are flocking here as well. Oh, we have been banning them also. We have been and I said that on Monday, actually. It was on Monday I said, yeah, we've been banning a lot of transphobes around here too. And do you know that they clipped me saying that on Twitter? And they're like, hey, she said that they're banning trans folks too. They tried to make it sound like what I said was trans folks when I had said transphobes. That's how desperate they are. You said she's replying to random trans folks on Twitter and those people are being found and harassed. Wait, who is? If people are finding people that I replied to on Twitter and you think it's okay to go harass them, you are the problem. You're not helping me. You're not helping anyone. The whole reason I'm taking a stand here is because I do not want to support or appease anyone who thinks it is okay. There's any kind of justification to harass people online. There is never a justification for it. Ever. Period. Full stop. It doesn't matter if they disagree with you. It doesn't matter if you don't like them. It doesn't matter if you think you've got a good reason to harass them. You don't. Do not fucking do it. If I find out you did it, I will ban you. That's how we handle people that are a problem. We ban them. We don't harass them. We just block them and move on. Do not stoop to their level. If that's happened to anyone that I replied to on Twitter, I'm very sorry.
These dry vines are one spark away from becoming kindling.
I hope people had a little bit, more common sense than that. But then again, it is Twitter. Okay, it is Twitter after all. People are dumb as hell on there, man.